Northwood Sports Club is home to Clay Target legends. Steve and Phil sit down in an interview with this boy wonder.
Well, thank you, Matt. I'm Steve Ellinger, along with Phil Murray, and this is Clay Target Legends. And we're thrilled to have today Mr. Bob Shuley from Illinois. Bob, thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
So you are a skeet shooting legend and was also known, and still is, if anybody will call you that, is the Boy Wonder. Tell us a little bit how that name came about.
I think that came about when Life magazine wanted to do an article on me. I believe it was 1962. And they wrote their article up, and I don't know how they came up with that moniker, but they did.
Well, it happens to be in the Life magazine, and I have a copy of that right here. Excellent. You may not know that, but it says here in 1962 how you were winning all of the big shoots as the Boy Wonder against all of the big-time skeet shooters. How did that feel?
It felt great. It felt great. I had so much self-confidence in my shooting that I would invite the competition. Mm-hmm. I wanted to have competition, and I wanted to be the number one person.
So what did the older shooters, substantial shooters, think when you were winning all these shoots?
I'm hoping that they were shaking a little bit.
I'm sure they were. Was this one of them, Phil? Were you shaking?
No, he wasn't shaking.
I hadn't reached that point yet, but I was, he was my hero, and I wanted to shoot just like him because he made it look so easy, and he smoked targets, and all these old guys would be sitting back there going, what is it with this kid?
Well, again, the Boy Wonder, and nobody calls you that anymore?
No.
But you have an incredible track record of winning shoots. For instance, in front of me is a patch from 1959, the World Championship All-Bore, which is now considered the 12-gauge, but that must have been quite a feat. How old were you in 1959 when you won that?
13.
13 years old,
right,
to win the World Championship. And you went on to win, what, 4 more World Championships?
4 more, yeah.
So you have a bucket full of medals and awards, but to win a championship at 13 years old is amazing. And Phil, you and I both know that he started shooting as a young boy with his father, Al, and went hunting, and then Al was very instrumental in bringing you along for father-son activities and some of the gun clubs.
Right.
And Phil, you again, you shot with Bob?
Yeah, and against him, and the basic fact that at 13 years old, a world champion, that was pretty incredible.
Oh yeah, and so when you would walk on the field, people would say, "Here comes that 13-year-old world champion again."
That's right. That's what I wanted to have happen.
And it did happen.
Yes, it did.
It did happen. So we mentioned earlier that you had also shot with Corolla Mandel, and of course Corolla was a world-class, one of the most decorated female skeet shooters in history, and the legend is that she would show up at every skeet shoot in a chauffeur-driven limousine, as well as the height of fashion. Is that right?
That's exactly correct.
And how was she personally?
She was a wonderful person, very friendly and forthcoming. She was very nice, a very pleasant person.
Phil, I asked Bob earlier about a 10-second piece of advice he would give to a new shooter. And what is that?
Well, have a high level of confidence, self-confidence, and a very high level of determination to break targets. Mm-hmm. That's all it takes.
So Phil, did you see that level of determination?
I saw that level of determination. Plus, I also saw a lot of the old guys try to play psych games with him. They bring out a case of shells to the shoot-off stadium to shoot off. They do everything.
They would just bring a case of shells out?
A case of shells.
And these were when they were 500-round cases.
500 round, yeah. And then they'd try to shoot so fast, if the referee let him, that he had no chance to get set and straight. Mm-hmm. It was funny, but he was smart enough to know what these people were doing. Yep. And his attitude was, you came out there with 500 shells, he'd say, why did you need them? You're only going to need one box against me.
Yeah. Well, that's a good. Did that work?
It worked. Sometimes
it worked. Sometimes it did, and sometimes it didn't. Yeah. I ask people this sometimes. How do you think skeet changed your life?
it occupied a lot of my time. Of course, I was in St. John's Military Academy in high school, so I didn't have an opportunity to shoot while I was in school. Let's say from the beginning of September till the end of May. So I had almost 9 months of no shooting at all.
Mm-hmm.
So after school, in May, then it was start from scratch, start all over again.
But was it like riding the bicycle? You got right into it, or did it take a little bit of time to regain the confidence?
It seemed like I just fell right into it right away. I didn't lose anything.
Nowadays, Bob shoots occasionally out at Northbrook Gun Club and gives lessons out there. And somebody showed me a video of Bob shooting doubles from station 345 with an 870 pump gun. And I'd hate to face him nowadays. He looks pretty damn good doing it.
Well, of course, you came up in there where most everybody was shooting pump guns, right?
I was raised on pump guns.
But it was still high gun at that point, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Well, you were out there just cleaning the tables with a pump gun, and they may have been shooting a 1148 or 58 or maybe even an 1100 later,
Right.
And yet you were still winning.
Right. Yep.
And I have people ask me periodically, what's the secret to using a pump gun when you have all that forward motion with your left hand or right hand, depending on what you are?
I don't know what the secret is. It just seems to be very natural for me to shoot a pump gun. I've taken my 12-gauge 870 full choke barrel out on the field and shot a couple of good scores at doubles 3, 4, and 5.
Well, to pick up, and you mentioned a Winchester Model 42, which is a 410 by design,
Right.
But then you couple the fact that you have to pump the action,
Yeah.
and you still were winning those tournaments, like Ken Barnes was doing.
Right.
That's an incredible feat.
Well,
A lot of discipline.
Barnes is a very good shooter. Very good shooter. There's no question about that. He has the ability, and he uses it.
Well, I also used to wear a sweater like him, except yours was a reddish color.
Well, mine was a copycat.
Yeah.
I was trying to emulate Ken Barnes.
Well, Phil, does this bring back a lot of memories?
Oh, yeah. This has been a great day for me to get together with Bob, and hopefully we'll get together when we go up to Chicago and visit him up there. But, a lot of great memories. We shot a lot against a lot of great shooters that are unfortunately are no longer with us. But, it's been great. I've got to be with one of my heroes and got to spend some time with him today, so that's great for me.
Well, the last thing I want to mention is the photograph that we have here at the table. And we'll zoom on it now and let you look at it. But you were, I believe, 16 years old at the time.
Yes.
3 years after you'd won the World Championship.
Right.
With your father, Al.
Right.
And I have said for many years that father-son, father-daughter activities are paramount to raising good kids. And I don't think you have any doubt, just by looking at that picture, that your father was a huge influence in your life.
He was, and as you mentioned, I think the parent-child relationship is critical for raising your kids.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a good relationship. Father has got to teach the kid, boy or girl, the facts of life.
And that's good advice coming from a world champion skeet shooter right there that everybody should pay attention to. Well, Bob, thank you so much for being here on Clay Target Legends. Phil, it's been an honor to have him with us today.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been an absolute honor to be here.
Well, get on the skeet field. Thank you.
It does take years and years to become a clay target legend, and lots of shells and broken clays along with that. But for Bob Shuley, well, you can find out more about him in our museum down in San Antonio. I'm Matt Smith, and this has been Clay Target Legends. We ask that you please visit our sponsors and also hit that subscribe and like button to make these videos possible.